How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to my third video of the day. So usually I don't do this, and I probably won't do it again, but some new information has come up regarding the new Ken leak that has recently surfaced. So for those of you guys who don't know, a picture of Ken was leaked, which appeared to be him in the game next to Ivysaur, Pichu, and Pac-Man, and a lot of people have been saying that this is false and fake and all that, but I actually found some evidence which proves that this is true, so I want to go over it with you guys right now. So, I have been reading all of the comments on my last video and have watched and read numerous sources about this. So far, nothing anyone has said has convinced me that this is fake. I will say that there is no way to confirm whether this is actually a leak or a really well made fake, but there are just too many fine details for me to believe that this is actually a fake leak. However, we know that Arrio Omni made that amazing Rayman leak that everyone thought was real back when Smash 4 was really popular, but even he thinks that this leak is real. Arrio Omni quotes, "I'm on team might be real for this one. People have pointed out that the bounds error on Pichu's portrait, but that actually looks like a reasonable bug that would occur in an internal build. So far, nothing people have pointed out debunks it for me, and I agree with him 100%. Another argument that I see a lot is that this was leaked on 4chan, so it's automatically fake. Guys, just because it's leaked on 4chan does not mean it's automatically fake. There is tons of stuff every day that is leaked on 4chan that turns out to be real, and they use 4chan because it is an anonymous posting site, and they think that they can't get in trouble because everything there is anonymous. Now, whether or not that's actually true or not, I don't know, but you do need to realize that just because something gets posted on a website, that doesn't automatically discredit it. So before we get started going over all the evidence as to why this is real, I need to give two huge shoutouts. The first shoutout is to GameXplain because they made a really good video talking about it, so if you guys haven't already, I recommend going over to GameXplain's channel and checking out what they have to say because there is a lot of really good information over there. Also, I need to give a shout out to my moderator Tony in the Discord because I've been talking to him for a little while and he's been helping me compile all of this evidence, and now I feel comfortable enough to talk about this, and I'm very excited to get into it because this is probably real, guys. So right away, the only unconfirmed newcomer is Ken, and all of the other characters in this photo have already been confirmed to be in the game, which means it would be pretty easy to find and Photoshop character models into this picture. However, Pichu has not been playable yet, and we have only seen him in trailers and pictures. After searching for a long time, not a single Pichu render has the exact pose in the picture, which means the person either had to make a new render all by himself, or they had access to the game. From the limited amount of knowledge I have about using Photoshop and making models, I don't really know how difficult it is to make models, especially ones that look that good, but I assume that Pichu's is kind of on the easier side. Next, we see that the picture comes from Moray Towers, and it is from an angle that we have not seen yet. The render zooms in on the second level, which is something we haven't seen before. Now, one of the coolest parts about Moray Towers is that before every match begins, there is an ink that is sprayed all over the stage. However, this looks to be like some kind of debug mode, which explains why the timer hasn't moved down at all and there is code on the side. Once again, there are no known pictures of this stage at this level with no ink on it, which means this guy would have had to make it all by himself if this is in fact a fake leak. The next piece of evidence is that Ken and Pac-Man are both clipping through the stage. So I don't know if you guys know this, but in the actual game that is what happens. They don't stand flat, they will actually clip through the stage on some parts of it. Also, in Ivysaur's model, he is doing something that we have never seen before, and people believe that this is actually a taunt of his. So if this was fake, they would have had to make this brand new taunt for Ivysaur, as well as make up this new model for Pichu. The next piece of evidence actually comes from Smashboards, and it is posted by Shin F. He says, "So I'm in a Discord with Super Cool, and he pointed out something significant. There's a bug on that metal platform where Ken and Pac-Man's shadows aren't cast on it, which would be a red flag, except that this bug is also present in the game itself. It's such a small detail that if this were fake, we're unsure that the person who made it would have been able to catch this detail. So as we can see, the bug is present in both of the pictures, which gives this leak even more credibility." The next piece of information we have to take a look at actually comes in the form of Pac-Man's taunt. So for those of you guys who don't know, when Pac-Man taunts, he has the ability to sometimes pull out this little mouse guy called Mappy. And we saw from the E3 Direct that he actually did pull out Mappy at one point, so I guess it could have been transferred over, but this leaker actually paid enough attention to detail to make sure that it was the E3 version of Mappy, so the Smash Ultimate version of Mappy, and not the Smash Wii U version, just giving him even more credibility. The next way that people are trying to debunk this leak is by saying that Pichu's character portrait is fake because the ear cuts off. It's true Pichu's portrait had been shown to have the whole ear, but Ridley's portrait has changed since the E3 video to the demo build as well. So as you can see in the picture on screen right now, we see that Ridley's original picture wasn't showing the rest of his head, and now it does with the demo version. So again, that's not a credible way to try and debunk this leak. The next and final bit of evidence I have that this leak is real is that Ken's proportions are exactly identical to Ryu's. So in the picture you see on screen right now, you see Ryu and his proportions are so accurate to Ken that it looks like they're exactly the same, and we all know that Ken is the original Echo Fighter and he is exactly like Ryu, so of course his proportions have to match his. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is the argument that in the bottom right corner, Ken's character portrait is kind of like transparent or translucent or whatever, and I kind of have an explanation for that. So I was talking to a few of my friends in the Discord, join my Discord if you guys have not yet already, and apparently this is probably just something that's happening in the debug menu. So as we already said, this is probably just like an internal build of the game, because as we can see in the top right corner, the clock isn't moving down at all, the timer isn't moving, and also it's okay that it's a translucent character model, you know, so it could just be because this is a debug menu, but if this isn't a debug menu and it's supposed to be in a match, then obviously it's fake. But we have all the characters taunting at the same time. At least that's what I think Ken is doing, but it just makes too much sense, and honestly, I believe that this leak is real. I know a lot of you guys don't really like the way that Ken looks, but that's okay, you know, this is what Sakurai decided that he wanted to put in. He decided that this Ken model was good enough to make it into Smash, so if this is actually real, then we are all just going to have to accept it. While I was editing this video, I actually thought of one more thing that I wanted to talk about. So while I was browsing the comments of my last video, I noticed that a lot of people were saying that this model of Ken looked a lot like the model of Ken that was from the leak with Agnes and Chorus Kids and Skull Kid and all of them in there. And honestly, I don't really see it. The models are not similar enough for you to say that they look like identical, but I do kind of see where you're coming from in that he could have used that as kind of like a base. A lot of people are saying that this is his Street Fighter 4 outfit, which I did some research and it does look like that's what it is. And a lot of people are upset that he didn't get his Street Fighter 5 appearance. Now personally, I think that Sakurai went with his Street Fighter 4 outfit just because it's more nostalgic and more recognizable. Everyone knows that Ken wears his red gi, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in Street Fighter 5, I'm pretty sure he has like black gi on, and he looks like much different than he did in the original games. I know that the Street Fighter 5 Ken is technically like more updated and cool, and a lot of people like him more, but personally, I think that Sakurai wants us to have the nostalgia of the original characters, but at the same time giving them kind of like a new updated look. And honestly, I think that's what he did with this version of Ken, and I really like it. I don't know why a lot of people say it looks like low quality, but remember, those same people were saying that the ESRB leak was fake, and they were saying that Shulk looked fake, and Mr. Game & Watch and Duck Hunt and all of them looked terrible, and then they ended up being real, so that's all I'm saying. But remember guys, I am not trying to tell you what to believe in any way, so if you guys believe that this leak is false and you don't believe that this is what's going to happen, then that is totally okay with me. I just wanted to talk to you guys about this because I believe that this leak is real. I saw in the comments of the video I posted earlier about Ken that a lot of you guys think that's fake, and honestly that's okay, but I hope you at least consider the evidence that I put forth and understand that leaks like this have happened before, even if they are from 4chan, and sometimes they end up being real, so we can't discredit it just because it was on 4chan. And honestly guys, I think that we are going to have Ken in Smash Ultimate, and this is what his character model is going to be. It just makes too much sense. But let me know what you guys think about this entire leak down in the comment section down below. Honestly, do you guys believe that this leak is real now that I've given you all this evidence? Why or why not? Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.